A new report has highlighted the hidden factors that are said to stop women from saving for their retirement.
Yeah, it's a really interesting report because it says that men hold an average of £75,000 in pension wealth by the time they're 59, but in comparison, women on average hold only 19,000.
Wow, that's a huge disparity.
It's a huge disparity, so let's talk about it a little bit. We're joined now by financial educator and chartered accountant Abigail Foster. Hello to you.
Morning, Abigail.
That is a big gap.
Yes.
So why is it happening?
So in the UK, we have something, well, all over the world, we have the gender pay gap, which is effectively the disparity that we're seeing between women at the beginning of their years and women at the end of their careers. So at the beginning of their careers, we're seeing not a lot of disparity between men and women, but by the end of their careers, we're seeing a lot of men in C-suite roles and above, and we're not seeing women get to that point. And I think personally, it comes from a lack of financial education at our school level, because we're not helping women understand how they need to financially protect themselves throughout their career. But pensions specifically that comes from this gender pay gap issue is that on average, women are taking career breaks or unpaid care leave, also known as motherhood. We're seeing massive gaps for women throughout their careers when they move around, or they might tend to, I don't necessarily agree with this point, but it's in the article, they tend to take lower paid roles. And so therefore, on average, they're earning less throughout their careers and therefore contributing less. We have in the UK defined benefit pensions and defined contribution pensions. Defined benefits known as the final salary pensions, they're very much outdated and a lot of them are gone now.
Partly because they were quite advantageous to
they were.
to people who had them. Yeah.
Exactly.
So they've been phased out.
And they put the risk on the employer. Now, majority of people are on defined contribution pensions, which puts risk on the individual. And that means for women, it's if you're contributing less, you're going to see less in your pension pot at retirement, which is wildly unfair. It does need reform, but obviously things that people can do is obviously be aware that your workplace pension is an auto-enrolment scheme, so you contribute, so does your employer. It's a 5% you, 3% them. And opting out of that means you are leaving money on the table. Your employer doesn't have to contribute. So I would really recommend women specifically thinking about that.
And you teach financial literacy. I mean, do we know enough about pensions? Do we think enough about pensions? I know that there was a time in my youth where pensions seemed kind of scary. It seemed like a long way away.
Be very old, you thought.
I wanted to
at the
keep all the
time.
money in my pocket, and people just don't think they need to stick it away somewhere.
Yeah, there's just not a lot of long-term mindset when it comes to the next generation. I get it. When I was 18, thinking about something in my 60s and 70s it seemed almost pointless. And so lots of young people completely pull out of the pension and don't realise the compound effect that it can have from just putting a small amount in the early stages of their career. You know, it's huge because obviously pensions are investments and they compound over time. So, yeah, I do think we need to be doing more with the next generation of women to be really pushing forward that pensions are really important, or investing in themselves is really important to help make sure that we bridge this gap, because it's only getting worse. You know, it used to be that women had 50% in their pension pots compared to male counterparts. It's getting worse, and that's really sad.
And when is it too late to do something about it? I mean, if you're kind of older and think, well, it's only a few years till I retire, there's no point. I mean, at what stage is that the right call?
I think I would say never. As an accountant, as a financial educator, I say please don't not think about your pension. But if you are so close to retirement, you might want to consider a couple of things, like your state pension. If you've contributed enough years to get the full state pension, might be worth looking into whether you buy some class 3 years to get to the full state pension. Or you might just invest in a stocks and shares ISA, which, you know, is same as putting into similar to putting into a pension because you're investing. That might be something a bit more flexible for people nearer retirement, but still giving you that investment push. But yeah, never think it's too late. It's like that with all finance. There's always more you can be learning about.
Yeah, it's something I talk to my children about, saying, and it doesn't feel like the right thing to do now at your age.
It's really important to get it started as soon as possible. Back to the education piece. I mean, I feel like I vaguely remember there being something in the budget about financial literacy coming onto the curriculum. Is that happening? Are you seeing more in schools?
Yes, we are. So I go and teach in schools, have been doing for the last 4 years, and I love it. And I get the opportunity to go into many schools from year 1 to year 13. But something that's not been the case for many years is some schools have to do it, but not all schools have had to do it. And so now there's a lot more conversation happening around, OK, more schools need to do it. And also, instead of just the sixth form or just the senior school, try and getting it across the board. So there is a lot of petition.
And the kids quite engaged?
Incredibly. I've never gone to a school where the kids haven't wanted me there. Yeah. You know, it's usually the session where the teachers come away and go, I've never seen the kids so engaged. They've never asked so many questions. And it's because we all really care about it. It's really personal to us. And I think it's something that I just feel like should, alongside things like mental health and physical health that we should be teaching our next generation, financial health should be just as important.
Yeah, Abigail, really good point. Thanks very much indeed. I learnt nothing at school about
Neither did
personal
I,
finances, so I
learned a bit this morning, though, haven't we?
Yeah, I've learnt a lot.
Thanks, Abigail.
Not too late.